separated with my husband 5 years ago, or ex-husband. We were divorced 18 months, 2 years ago. Um, he signed his half of the equity. He wouldn't sign it over to me. He would only sign it over to our oldest son, who was always going to be on the mortgage with me because I financially couldn't afford it on my own. I'm just wondering now, can he actually claim the half of the equity that I've got in the property? Can he actually claim some of that?
So I don't want you to divulge too much, Lorraine.
No.
Do you? So you have your financial order, yes?
No, no. Did my Form E, I do believe it was, with my solicitor at the time. I don't have him no more. But he wouldn't do his. And then when he eventually did his Form E, they wouldn't accept mine because his solicitor said it's 9 months old, so it's out of date. And I just couldn't afford the fee to have it done again by the solicitor. And I don't feel comfortable enough at the time to do it myself. Um,
So with that,
he's made,
I was going to say,
sorry,
without a financial order, then we haven't severed the financial ties between you.
no,
That's really important to state that, just for the others that are listening, and therefore he can come back and make a financial claim against anything in your name. So if you own 50% of a property, then yes, he could claim 25% of it. But of course, then we have to assess what are his prospects of success, because by the same token, you can claim what he's got. So, and at the moment, I don't know what he has. So the answer to your question is yes, but I don't just want to leave it there and have you go away worrying. Everything gets put on the table. So the 50% of the property that you own and anything else that you own and everything that he owns all gets put on the table, and then we sort out the financial order and who gets what.
See, my issue is since he left, he's been not being truthful with his money. He moved out and moved in with someone else, and he had a lot of money in cash, and he's bought vehicle and put it in his partner's name and since sold it. So he's been using the money to stop me having access to it, including his business account and stuff. He did agree originally, because we had many years ago, it was called a pension mortgage.
Yeah.
And my argument is if I'm taking on the mortgage, I should have that pension mortgage.
Yeah.
Which he agreed on twice. He's agreed that I could have it. Now he's saying, well, actually, no, I can. And he's got money to throw at things, whereas I haven't. So it's quite intimidating. And I cannot believe what he says, because he keeps changing it every time. When you think you've had something sorted, he then unchanges it and says, sorry, no, you can't.
So my advice, where people are trying to navigate a financial order, and you've got one person who is being dishonest, getting paid in cash, putting things in other people's names after separation, is it can be a case of moving on. A lot of times I've said to my clients, look, if we can't show that he has any assets because he's putting it in other people's names, let's just move on and let the focus be on protecting what you have, as opposed to worrying about him telling the truth. There's a reason why people get divorced. They don't get on with the other side. So it always amazes me when people get divorced and we're trying to sort out the finances, that my clients will then say to me, God, he's so unreasonable. I'm like, well, absolutely. That's why you're divorcing him. Let's not be surprised about that. So I think in your case, Lorraine, I would be suggesting to you, worry less about what he's doing. Karma's real, and what goes around comes around. And I don't mean to say that to you as a platitude, but you focus on protecting your 50% of the house. If I was in your shoes, that's what I would do. Don't worry about engaging a solicitor. You've already done your Form E once. Copy it again. You can do it yourself. Copy it again. Attach your financial disclosure. Reach out to his solicitor yourself. Say to them, right, let's do an exchange, because actually I want a clean break. Maybe that's the way you go, and you don't incur any other legal fees. You get to have a look at what he's disclosing to you. He's signed off on the Form E. If you go on, after the order's made to establish that actually he had more money, well, he's signed that Form E. He's sworn a statement of truth. So you could always go back to court at that point. But maybe, because sometimes what can happen is they grind you down. Like emotionally and mentally, they just grind you down, and it's just not worth it. Like all the money in the world isn't worth it. It isn't. Just move on would be like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not advising you because I don't know what he's got, but it could be that you just protect what you've got and just say to hell with it. Maybe.
I think it's more the fact that we were together for 6 months short of 29 years.
Yeah.
And at the moment, I've just got my half of the equity and that in the property, and that's it. And it just feels unjust.
Yeah, I know.
We've got 2 grown-up children that live at home that I look after.
Yeah.
And he doesn't see them, and it's just, it is. I do want him out of my life completely, but it's just getting there.
So then you have to think, well, how much more am I fighting for? Because if you've been with him for 29 years, you're going to know what he could earn, and you're going to know how he operates. So then sit down and just do a guesstimate. Okay, let's say that he told the truth here. What are we talking about? 10,000, 50,000, 100,000? Because once you've got a figure in your head, you can then start to really think about, is this worth it really? Am I actually going to fight for 10,000 or whatever? And principles are great, don't get me wrong. But what you have that he won't have is a relationship with children and grandchildren.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And that's priceless.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
But look, thanks for the question, Lorraine. I hope that helped.
That's been brilliant. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.